So hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna solve a mystery. What CPU is inside this asus memo pad 10? We don't know, I don't know, but I know the other specs of it in CPU Z. But what is the brand of the CPU? We don't know. We're just gonna power it on. And this was my family's old tablet that she used for us. We have still a picture of it that me and my brother are watching on this tablet. Um, it was a very decent tablet, although nevertheless the young kids have your tablet because they will break it. We broke at least me or my brother. I have no idea who did it. I'm not gonna blame anyone for it. But the charging port broke, and the reason why there are cracks is a different reason. It did not crack because of that. There's a little piece of glass is not here. It's missing because my dad had to chop a little piece of glass off, so we could actually charge it. I have to use a proprietary charger, which I can show you. I custom made it, and I have another one of these. I have a USB cable for it and a normal micro USB 1.0. It is this. It is basically one of this Samsung. Although the little thing here is loose, I got it from my grandma, and I noticed that this was super loose, so I took it off, and we got this as a result. And it fits inside of there. I also have a USB cable, just micro USB, but it is super loose, and most of the time doesn't work. It is because the circuit board here is broken. The micro USB port on the circuit board has been pushed this way, so it charges super slowly, and it's fully charged now. It took me one and a half a day. You can see how many freaking YouTube messages I'm getting on this thing. Although I used it yesterday, I mean 2 days ago, I'm getting this many YouTube messages. Holy shit, look at it. It's nothing personal, by the way. Holy shit. That's also the reason why it lags so much. There we go. And it's also very laggy in the beginning. I have no idea why, because the CPU is actually quite decent in this thing. We just do a one tap boost, we'll just launch it, not sponsored. It's just a phone cleaner. Their screen resolution is not that happy with my camera. Actually, the screen looks very great in my opinion. I mean, if it's a TFT, then it kind of sucks, because having a big TFT display also means the filter in the screen is going to be big, which means the colors are not gonna be as bright and nice. Like, do you want to know why AMOLED screens look so pleasant? They don't have they have they don't have a filter at all. They don't have a. You probably know when you take apart a LCD display, you get one of those frosted looking filters. Those really one of those. How thicker they are, or how more frosted they are, the less your colors are gonna be. And you're probably thinking, why not replace it or remove it? Well, you can break the display while removing it, and you probably already do because it's stuck on the display, and your whole LCD is gonna break of that. And by removing it, you can literally just break the LCD, and the only thing you will see is a super bright, just white screen that maybe even can hurt your eyes. So don't recommend doing that. As you can see, let's take a closer look. It has a quad-core ARM Cortex A9, 1.6 GHz quad-core processor. That is very nice. It has a Mali 400MP, which kind of sucks. But this CPU is actually meant for gaming, because I had the Arco 70 Copper, which had the exact same GPU, and it ran like absolute shit. But playing the same game on this thing actually gives me almost as much graphical power as this boy, my super huge Samsung Tab S. But since this is a $400 tablet and this one is 200, you always should expect, even for a tablet that's not meant for gaming, you should expect a little bit more, and it has. So yeah. But the reason why it's now working is because I wanted a tablet super badly. So I just started repairing this one because I didn't know anything about software, and I always thought if something was broken that the hardware was the failure, which is not, because then I knew what flashing firmware was, and I flashed the firmware on the Arcos. So also this thing has 1 gig of RAM, which is also okay, I guess. On the Android 4.0 it's actually 100% usable. On Android 5 it's shit, so I have no idea what I'm actually gonna do with this. I may flash Android 5.0 in it, but the chance is super super small because 1 gig of RAM is absolute trash on Android 5.1, and Android 5 is also absolute shit with RAM usage. Because my first ever phone had 1 gig of RAM on Android 5.1, and I lived with that 2 years long, and it was an absolute disaster. So the chance is super small I'm gonna root this thing. I may keep it original because it is already kind of it has a kind of a great skin on it, I guess. But yeah, I want to repair it, and I took off the back and I let it charge. I let it charge with that custom charger, and it worked. Although I once put on the back cover because the screen cable is right here, and it sometimes started glitching. And to prevent the same thing what is now with the Arcos and the copper slash the whole LCD going crazy, I just put it on the back cover, and my dad um, tucked off a little chunk of that glass, and now it just works. I know there are little. I didn't expect to crack this much, and at first I didn't even know this was glass. I thought it was a really big slab of plastic because it feels cheap AF. But for some reason, CPUC reckons that this is a Asus Memo Pad Smart 10. It's the K00F model. It's the European model. There's another model that's more powerful, and I think also has a Qualcomm CPU. Oh my god, stupid phone cleaner. Yeah, totally tolerable. It actually has. This is actually a very crazy thing. I had this only twice now. Um, Asus and Medion do this. They put the exact amount of RAM you want in your device. Like 1 gig is 1024 megabytes. It has that. It just reckons it has that. And it's not 500 grams. It's kind of heavy. Yeah, it's definitely heavy, but my JBL weighs at. Yeah, they're right. Never mind. They're right about 580 grams. Kind of. But Medion also did this. 512 megs of RAM is the actual RAM available on the device, and not 400 megabytes of RAM user available. Like they chuck something of the RAM off it to make the phone way cheaper. That the Arc 70 Copper also has that. It doesn't matter that much, even if you have 450 megabytes available of the 520, 512. It can run okay. I mean, it can run okay. It can run. How good? That's questionable. Anyways, this one has the exact 1 gig of RAM that you want. So buy this tablet if you want exact 1 gig of RAM. Although, yeah, the RAM is not doing great. The storage is also full, which really sucks. There are only a few apps on here, and it's because it's fully updated. I've no idea. I'm not totally sure if Android 4.2.2 is the most thing. The chance of ruining this thing is gonna be super small because the motherboard's kind of broken, and maybe it's not even gonna accept charge anymore because it charges that slow. And yeah, I have no idea. It still has Delphic Java, which kind of sucks. Oh, Java, sorry, Java. So yeah, that if you're into that Java version, it can crash on that. Battery is I mean, they call it very big, although this thing has a 8,000 milliamp hour battery, which is absolutely gigantic. And look how thin this boy is. It is super thin. This thing has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which runs fine. It definitely it is almost it's definitely as good as my Samsung Tab S. Although maybe it's even better than my Tab S, because Android 4.2 is actually kind of better than 6, but yeah. The health is good. It's at 98%. That's okay, because I charged it fully this morning. Thermal is no, so that also means, I mean, if it has, stupid ads. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. Probably a super annoying Raid Shadow Legends ad. It must be. Anyways, guys, let's just stop and just see it smooth now. It is an absolute good CPU. Oh, by the way, I sometimes play World of Tanks on this tablet. It is definitely not the greatest, but it can run it. I mean, it's a little too big to carry this thing in my backpack, so that's the reason why I shouldn't. I use the Arco 70 Copper and not this device. If it had a 7-inch screen, definitely straight up use this thing, because it is quite powerful. If this was the Arco 70 Copper, it wasn't actually. I could call it a beast. Seriously. Let's launch the Play Store and install device info HW. See, it's not even that slow. It's pretty snappy in my opinion. I mean, I could use this fine as a main tablet, but the charging issue kind of kills the whole purpose of it. I mean, having to charge my tablet 1.5 a day long. I mean, I can't really go without it then. That kind of sucks. I mean the SenUI keyboard. Device info HW. There we go. I mean, I really want to know what kind of CPUs are inside of it. I really hope it's a MediaTek, because I've never seen a MediaTek 106 gigahertz CPU before, and I've never seen that. I mean, yeah. MediaTek is a big pioneer back in the day with really cheap tablets having pretty okay chips. I mean, there's also a scam going on with MediaTek that they overclock their CPU and put it to its full limits while doing a benchmark. Just only with that benchmark, like the G95, Helio G95 does that. I don't know if my Helio P70 in my Motorola also does that. I have done a benchmark and I was super surprised with the result. So maybe they cheated in the benchmark with my Helio P70. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I can expect this tablet to actually do that. It at least has a calculator. Oh wait, does it? There's one crazy thing iPads don't have. I really want to tell you to that, guys. I think it's no, it's not a radio. It's not a radio. I think it's calculator. I think it really is. That's maybe the reason why I said at least has calculator. Okay, here we go. Device info HW. See what they have to say. Asus K00F 800 by 1280. That's actually okay resolution. Charger use P mic. What does that mean? I mean, it does have a temperature sensor, as I can see here. RAM 1 gig. Hey, it has a SanDisk flash module. So, is that the storage? Or is that the RAM module? Holy shit, it's a SanDisk SEM 16G. Yeah, that's... Oh, I've seen that chip on the motherboard. When I took this thing apart, I literally saw a SanDisk chip that said 16G on it. Yes, it's the storage chip. Good job, SanDisk. I mean, this is the more expensive model of this tablet, which really is a nice thing. I never had that before. The only thing that is high-end, is a high-end model, is this tablet and my iPod. I mean, this is 16 gig Samsung Tab S and not the 32 gigabyte model, or even better, the LTE model. So it's just a total simple base model of my Tab S. It's the cheapest model. That's definitely not cheap, but the cheapest model they released. With my phone, it's just, there's only 64 gigabytes, so just the best of the best. But most of my phones, if there are multiple versions, I always have the worst one. So it's very nice to have the best storage for once. SoC, hey, it's Rockchip processor. I did not expect that. Zoom in on that. Wait a minute. Let's see. I'm just gonna get my real tablet right here and search of GSM Marina what kind of CPU it has. Wait, what? What does GSM Marina say it has a Rockchip RK101 processor? It has a RK3180H Plus. What? I mean, it says clock speed 600 megahertz, which is absolutely impossible. I mean, Meli 400 MP is just right. Oh, wait a minute. The Meli 400 MP has a very high clock speed, so that's what they mean by that. For almost 600 megahertz is a very high clock speed for 2013. I mean, I've seen budget phones from 2020, like the Motorola E6s. Literally, they have the same clock speed in terms of GPU. I've no idea if that means it's better. I've no idea if let's just install on my Samsung Tab S. I mean, it has a 8-core CPU, so that's nowhere near as... This thing is nowhere near as powerful, and it has a gorgeous AMOLED screen, I can tell you. I really love my Tab S. Let's just also install device info HW. I'm just gonna type it here. I mean, installing apps takes ages on my Tab S. That kind of sucks though. There's my beautiful Tab S. That's the refresh rate of the AMOLED screen. Installing. Well, I'm actually surprised. I didn't expect that. I mean, I know Rockchip is not that good of a brand. They made quite a lot of Android CPUs, but not a lot of Android, by the way. They made it for other like I think BlackBerry. The BlackBerry Playbook maybe actually has that. I'm not totally sure. Let's open it on my Tab S as well. I mean, it's in battery saving mode and the battery is dying, so. Mine Tab S obviously has the Exynos 5420. Yeah, 5420. And it doesn't say... Oh, wait, I think it's just... Oh no, that's actually the GPU speed. Why can't my Tab S see the clock speed of the GPU? I mean, in CPU-Z, it says what kind of megahertz it runs, but 600 megahertz GPU, that's really high. I mean, I can do a gaming test. I mean, my Tab S is absolutely pretty good at gaming. I mean, it could be better. It's not the best, but it could be better. Oh my god, let's just put my Tab S out of the battery saving mode because it's kind of slowing it down. Let's just optimize the RAM on both tabs right here. And we're gonna do a test because this is actually quite crazy. So if you're a GPU guy, this is your moment. RAM is optimized on both devices. We'll launch turbo dismount. I will turn down the sound because maybe that's copyrighted. I will start both of them at the same time. Where's turbo? There's turbo dismount. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was at the same time. There we go. Holy shit, that was quick, Tab S. The little keys are lighting up, I know. The game can literally program that you're... as you can see, look at the difference. AMOLED screen is so much better. I mean, in real life. The colors are so much washed out. Yep, Tab S, here we go. Tab S is done. Let's go into one of my favorite maps. First ever gaming of mine on my channel. I mean, it's running pretty okay. A little bit of lag going on. Oh my god, that took long. Memo pad is lagging right here. Let's just do T-Junction, which is the same map. Oh yeah, that's definitely... See the difference? Yeah, you can even on camera, you can definitely see the difference. My Tab S is running this preview with literally no lag. And the memo pad is having a lot of hiccups and stuttering. So, yeah. I think it's just a power-hungry GPU for the sake of it. I mean, look at this smoothness, man. Holy cow. I mean, it's definitely not the best GPU in a Samsung tablet, but Turbo Dismount runs absolutely fine. Here is it on my Tab S. I mean, this display looks so sharp and so detailed. Holy cow. I can talk hours about the amazingness of my super old Tab S. But here's the memo pad. Holy shit. The colors are looking kind of drowned as well. I mean, it's running okay now, but there's a lot of stuttering. I mean, the Arcos did it worse. See, there's like half a second of latency. I mean, the Arcos did it way worse. I mean, it's kind of playable, but it's not the best. And playing World of Tanks on this thing is also absolute It's that puts it to its limits. I'm not gonna lie. That actually kind of kills the device. I mean, the 1 gig of RAM definitely works. I mean, it could multitask. Browsing experience is also nice, maybe even better than on my Tab S, because my Tab S has quite. I mean, the Wi-Fi chip in my Tab S absolutely amazing. It has some very good Wi-Fi reception. I mean, this guy also has a quite decent one. But for example, my Galaxy A3 has super bad Wi-Fi antenna. I can literally talk about how bad it is. It must be Qualcomm, man. We all know Qualcomm sucks. So long story short, it has a Rockchip RK3188 Plus. I did not expect that. And maybe the reason. Wait, is the reason that the GPU lags so much? Maybe that the. Oh my god, my tab has such a better display. Maybe it's the reason that the OpenGL version is older. It's 2.0 on this one. Yeah, I know why it's laggier. My Tab S has OpenGLS or ES, whatever you want to call it, 3.1. Well, this one has the really old 2.0, which came out at the end of 2009, which is super old. And my Tab S, obviously, it has a very different GPU. It has a Mali T series and not the M series. Or whatever the. No, not the 400 series. Mine has the T628 MP6. So 6 cores, GPU cores in my Tab S. And I mean, I think 2 cores or maybe even 1 core. I mean, I now know, I know it. I know the reason why the GPU megahertz is so high. It's basically because there's only 1 core and they have to put a lot of power in that, because the if it was a dual core GPU, then it would probably have like 400 megahertz. I have no idea. Okay, this video is taking way too long. Let's just shut the device down. There's a little bit of an animation. I mean, the cameras are also totally trash. 2 megapixel and VGA, while my Tab S has 8 megapixel and 2 megapixel. So basically, this thing, the back camera of this thing is as good as the selfie cam of my Tab S. That's absolutely. Oh, and look at the fitness. I mean, this case I'm mostly used for my Tab S, but this is so fun. Don't ask me why this happened. It was absolute. I can sting. I can make blood marks. Never mind. Also, there's a fingerprint scanner. 10.5 inch beast. See y'all later.